Hey guys, it's Dean here and this is DeanoBuild. So at the end of my last tutorial, I said that I was going to speed through and develop the city a bit. And as you can see, this is Deanoville, yes, my very original name, the town that I built out of that tutorial which I showed you. So what was originally very plain, very boring, is now beginning to resemble something that looks much more like a small town. And so what I did was I sped through and I built this. I developed this town in the space of an hour. And I thought that rather than me going through the whole thing, building it with you, I thought let me do a speed through of me actually building this. So that you can just get an idea of how I did the road layouts, what was my thinking by building these roads along the coastline, getting a bit of composition in the town with my parks and stuff. I haven't built any of the park life parks. I've just used basic parks here, just really because I wanted you to get a feel for how you could just get a basic town setup going. So there's nothing complicated here, very simple. Traffic flow, the idea behind the traffic flow is very simple. Make sure that there's in and out access for your cars, for your sims, for your traffic. And yeah, so let's just take a look at that. So as you can see, this is what we had before, and this is what we have now. Something that looks a little bit more like a town, not something that was just placed down in a very boring gridded format. I've given it a bit of character. You can see that there's some that the buildings are smaller around the outside, and then they start to get a little bit taller in the center. So yeah, watch the speed through video, take a look at it, and decide for yourself how you want to build your city. And if you see anything that you like in that speed through video that you want to try and apply and think, hey wait, that's actually a really clever idea, then please go ahead. And just remember, if this video helped you in any way, or you saw something which you liked, don't forget to like and subscribe. It makes this kind of makes this kind of video production all that much more worth it when I know that it's actually helping other people. So thanks, enjoy the speed through, and I'll be commenting on that speed through just in a few areas, just so that you actually know what's going on. Brilliant. Enjoy. Expanding my zones, making sure everything has got water. Just make sure that my roads along the side of my river match the contours of the river. Just continuing zone expansion, and then also just defining commercial areas. My power ran out there. Instead of building a new power plant, I just went to the budget panel and increased my power budget. That would increase the power supply just a little bit. Eventually it got too much, I took out a loan, just built a power station. Adding some desirability, try and increase the rate at which Sims, spelled with a C, are moving into my city. Realize roads are going to be a problem. Going to need some wider roads to help the traffic flow. Use one-way roads. Make sure that you provide in and out access to your city, and you'll see shortly how I do that. Initially just trying to connect the residential and commercial areas to my industrial areas. See, I'm having a bit of a garbage problem. Can't afford it yet. So what do? I cheat a little, but not really cheating. I don't recommend doing this all the time, but spike up your taxes for a short while, get that boost of cash that you need, build your necessary utilities, or your much needed utilities, and then drop down your taxes low again. Like I say, it does cause your Sims to leave, and it can result in a bit of a loss after you get that big spike. So just make sure that you don't abuse that too much. Increasing my industrial, and note that when my industrial starts building, my residential starts going up. You can see those demand indicators, how they fluctuate next to my city title. Increasing my road capacity. So here I do a little circle, and although I don't fiddle with any of the robots or the traffic lights, as you call them in the West, it still seems to flow nicely. But I'll be showing another video after this, just explaining having some very good tips as to how you can manage your traffic flow. I'm using a very simple method which I found in this game. I wish I had known it sooner. When I did, it changed everything with regards to traffic flow. So yes, I will sell this to you. Watch my next video about how to make your traffic flow about at least 20% smoother. So look out for that. I'll be posting it to this channel. Just building some bridges. So just use the page up and the page down key. That will, page up will obviously increase the height of your bridge, page down will obviously lower the height. So note how I'm trying to curve the roads nicely so that they flow into that traffic circle. And then what I also like to do is I like to add a few little hills every now and then, make it more of a natural scenery. And I love adding trees. Trees make your city. I believe that they can really make it look nice. So yeah, chow that processor with lots and lots of trees. They really do make a difference, but they also do bring a bit of a fire hazard, so make sure that you've got plenty of fire watchtowers and eventually a fire helicopter to help exterminate forest fires. Just continuing to increase my population. Don't forget about your beautification, and make sure that you increase those commercial spots. I like putting the commercial spots closer to the main roads so that the noise pollution doesn't affect the residential areas as much, although that becomes fairly difficult to control throughout the game. Yeah, use those traffic circles creatively, man. So yeah, I realized that at this point I was going to have to expand my residential zoning quite a bit in order to get to the higher density residential and commercial buildings, which I would obviously end up using to create that realistic city effect where you have all your smaller suburbs leading up to your taller buildings in the center. Yeah. Just connecting up my industrial. definitely later on you would take that highway area in your industrial area, and you'd create a proper on and off ramp as you expand outwards. For now, just because of space constraints and just trying to keep things simple, I just have an off ramp there, and then there's other roads which lead into the town, which will eventually take the trucks to that circle, and so forth. So yeah, I decided to get a bit more creative and build some residential areas below the little artificial hill which I built. Just continue to check for water supply. And don't forget to plant trees. Trees always look nice. Yeah, and eventually you'll be able to clear up all those power cables, those power lines, and yeah, you build a nice little seawall where you can then place your utilities upon that. Just straighten things out a little bit. Make sure that you don't lose your utilities in the process of removing your power. Yeah, I find if you want to speed up your development, then consider building a bus stop and place just a simple bus route just to get some public transport in your city if you're wanting to just boost that little extra bit of desirability. Eventually though, your public transport will become key, but that is for a whole nother tutorial video. Continue expanding your beautification. And then what you'll do is you'll just remove a few of those central zones where you want to be your central business district. Do some high density zoning in place of those low density zones, and there you have it. Something which resembles something a lot more realistic. I hope you enjoyed this this video, this speed through, and I hope that it helped you. It helped inspire you to start working on that city of your dreams. This is just a small town. Eventually what you would do is you would eventually build an accumulation of these, which would eventually be suburbs, and together would end up building your massive metropolis. I hope you enjoyed this video, and please don't forget to like and subscribe. Thanks for watching, guys.